Brian, it's your turn to take the dog
What?
out. Brian.
No, I can't.
Brian.
I can't hear you. I'm sorry. It's super loud over here.
Here, try this. Brian, can you hear me this time?
Yeah, I can hear you. This is great.
Much better. Can you go wash my car?
Oh. Alright. With full modularity, 80 plus platinum efficiency, and whisper silent operation thanks to a semi-passive 0 RPM fan mode, the new Fractal Design Ion Plus is the ideal power supply to make sure you don't miss what's going on in the world around you. Check out the link below to learn more. Check it out. It is all done. We are finally wrapped up with this project that I still never gave a name to. But before we get into what's on this paper here, which is some performance and thermal specifications, I want to again say a big thank you to our sponsors for this project. That is Fractal Design, that is N-Source Customs, and that is EK Waterblock. So thank you once again to everybody involved. Thank you also to Joe from Sanctum Sleeving, who put in a Herculean effort to try to get that distro block to work. We did end up going with the Performance PCs distro block that is custom made and manufactured for this case. It did work better for our purposes, but thank you very much, Joe, for trying to get me exactly what I wanted. This is mostly what I wanted, but it does fit a little bit better in the case. So thanks, Joe. Thanks, Fractal. Thanks, EK, and thanks, N-Source Customs. So this thing just looks freaking amazing. I still have it on that rainbow mode as far as all the LEDs on the GPU block, on the actual pump that's connected to the distro block, on the fans, and on the memory. I haven't yet set all that stuff up to match with our green cables. We'll be doing that at a later time, as this is a machine that I will want to put into some production work, so it will want to sit on my desk, or I will want it to sit on my desk, and as such, it'll have to color match, because that's just how I do things. But even as is, I think it looks absolutely amazing. I really am kind of in love with the entirely horizontal tubing runs. I've never built a system like this before using a distro block. I did have to do some shenanigans with some fittings in order to get everything to line up properly so that I could do those horizontal runs. Additionally, I posted on Twitter the other day about some fittings craziness that I had to do up here to make sure that the distro block can connect back down to our radiator, which was otherwise blocked by the top rad and fans. I actually had to come like over and then down and then back over and then out and then down just with fittings. And I was just crossing every part of my body that I could, that we didn't end up with a bum fitting here or there that could potentially just kind of submarine this entire operation. Because when you're dealing with custom water cooling, fittings are a potential point of failure, and you want to try to minimize your points of failure in your loop. Using more fittings just makes it so that more things can fail. So I didn't really want to do it this way. However, if I wanted to use this top 360 rad, that was really the only way to go about it. So I did it, and it worked, and I'm very happy that I didn't end up with any leaks. You will maybe notice that, well, maybe you don't notice, but there is some paper towels down here. Now, I shot the B-roll, and then afterwards, actually kind of while I was shooting the B-roll, and I was like moving this case around to get different angles on it, I must have jostled one of the fittings at the bottom here connected to this front radiator, and the tubing maybe came a little loose, or it came a little unscrewed, or not entirely sure, but I have a little bit of a leak going on right now that's just happening from the very bottom of the front radiator, going just right down through the perforated case. It's not affecting any of the internals and any electronics or anything like that, anything connected to power. And I wanted to, I guess, just shoot this video and get it out for you guys, because I know you've probably been waiting forever on it. So instead of trying to disassemble everything and tighten all this stuff back up, let's just shoot this and then I'll take care of that. It's not causing any problems right now. I was actually even able to complete all of my testing, and I have the numbers here for you, and we can compare it to the way this system was performing initially, which was in that crazy the worst custom loop I've ever done video, where I just kind of jammed everything into the case, including cabling in every imaginable way, and just ran some initial numbers. So The first thing that I wanted to talk about was noise. Now, our initial system, our first system, when it was on 100% load, was pretty noisy. 52.8 decibels was the reading we got. And this system with everything at load, only 46 decibels. So even though we have a higher overclock actually happening on our CPU, I actually was able to get this up to 5.2 gigahertz. The sound is significantly lower because the fans don't have to spin nearly as fast to keep everything as cool. Also, our temperatures. Our temperatures are ridiculously low, especially compared to where we were coming from. Our max package temperature on the CPU and our initial configuration at 5 gigahertz was 97 Celsius on our 9900K. At 5.2 gigahertz, we're at 64 Celsius max package temperature, with most of the cores sitting in the 50s. Our GPU temperature, original configuration, 76C. In this configuration, 53C under load. And also some gaming results. So we got Far Cry 5, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Metro Exodus, all slightly higher due to a higher sustained boost clock on our GPU, and also, I guess, maybe a little bit due to the increased overclock on our CPU as well. Also, our Firestrike Ultra test obviously going to be a little bit higher. So guys, this project still doesn't have a name. Maybe you guys can help me out with that. And I will continue to hopefully feature this build on the channel because, like I said, I do want to use this as a production machine for just at least a little while, see how it goes using QuickSync versus using just a high core count X series CPU. Right now I'm using a 7980XE, so it's going to be a high bar to clear for this system to beat that as far as what I do the most, which is Adobe Premiere rendering. However, we're going to give it a go because we spent all this time and effort to put this together, and it looks too good to not have on my desk at some point. So we're gonna try that out, and then I'll update you guys and see how that goes. Other than that, this has been a pretty interesting experience. Like I said, I've never built a system using a distro block before. In fact, it's been a while since I've put together any kind of custom loop. So getting back to my, I don't know, channel roots and doing some more water cooling and using a distro block and having to figure out a way to make all these tubing runs horizontal was an interesting challenge, and one that I actually was really happy that I succeeded at, and also happy that I took on, because it kind of made me think about things in a different way. It lets you kind of visualize things, but not just in such a straightforward manner. A lot of times, a lot of systems that I build, that other people build, are kind of the same. You know, you have a CPU and a GPU to cool, you have two radiators to do it, and you have a pump res combo that you mount to a radiator or to the back wall or something like that. The tubing runs almost kind of run themselves. They kind of tell you which way that they're going to be run. And this was not that case. You know, obviously we had certain entrance and exit points that the coolant had to make, but as far as how we got to that and where we made our runs, that was all up to me, and that was something that I had to figure out. So I'm glad I did it. Now I have the experience of doing it. Maybe I could make it a little less painful next time, because this was a project that's been in the works since May. So, you know, yes, we had some difficulty with sourcing some components, but, you know, that's 4 months basically, or I guess 3 months, where this project has been in the works and just kind of sitting on a shelf. So I'm gonna try not to do that next time, but, you know, thanks for sticking with me. And like I said, this experience was very valuable, and the end product is just awesome. So once again, our sponsors for this project: Fractal Design, EK Water Blocks, and NSource Customs. Also want to give a big shout out to MSI, who we are using their Godlike motherboard and their Duke 2080 Ti. And big shout out to you guys for sticking around through this whole thing. So thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed this quick look at this new system that still needs a name. So if you want to post it down in the comments, that would be cool. We'll see what people come up with. And stay tuned to the channel. I will see you guys next time.